Ever since I was a little kid and Pokemon was released, I've been a Pokemon fan ever since. From the plushies to the games, I collected all sorts of Pokemon things. Because as they say in the game, you gotta catch them all. That is until they created so many I can't even count them all. Which Pokemon is this again? Wait, who that is? I don't even know. Even though I couldn't keep up with what most of the new things Pokemon kept coming out with, I still played most of the new games throughout the years. And I continued to collect a lot of different Pokemon merchandise throughout the years as well. Even though some of the things that Pokemon comes out with are pretty freaking weird. So today, to thank you guys for 80k subscribers, I figured we'd take a look at my entire Pokemon collection. So, let's get it started. I figured we'd start off with what got me into Pokemon in the first place. Pokemon Blue. Back when Pokemon first came out, everyone was into this game, so it was no real surprise that me and my little brother got into it as well. I ended up getting Pokemon Blue version because blue was my favorite color, and my little brother ended up getting Pokemon Red version because he really liked Charizard. From there, me and my little brother continued to get into the Pokemon craze. We went from playing the games, to watching the show, to getting the VHS tapes, and of course, collecting all of the cards. Collecting and trading Pokemon cards was always fun for us growing up. I still have a bunch of my old holographic cards, but most of my common cards are gone now because we sold them all on a yard sale, which sucks, and I wish I hadn't have done that, but what's done is done, and at least I still have all of these, because the holographic ones were always my favorite ones just to look at, especially this Gengar one since he's my #1 favorite in Generation 1. Not long after that, a new version of Pokemon came out, the special Pikachu version, Pokemon Yellow. So for my next birthday, I ended up getting the Pokemon Game Boy Color with the yellow version in it. I remember opening this present on my birthday and being so surprised. I was like, oh my god, is this for real? And after opening the game, I just couldn't put it down. It came with the special Pokemon Game Boy with Jigglypuff, Togepi, and Pikachu on the cover, and of course the copy of Pokemon Yellow. We both played the games like crazy and tried our hardest to catch them all, trading with each other and our friends. We even bought a special player's guide to show us where each of the Pokemon were and what exactly we need to do next. And yeah, it's kind of in rough shape now. The cover is missing and you can still see some of the Pokemon stamps we put on there as kids. But this guide really helped us in the end, and it even had a nice little Pokedex section in the back where you can look up different Pokemon and see what moves they learn and when they evolve. Of course, after all this, spin-off games continued to come out, such as Pokemon Pinball. I remember being really addicted to playing this game for some reason. It was probably the first pinball game that I actually played, and it had this cool little rumble feature on the game pack. So, like the rumble pack on Nintendo 64, if you have a battery in it, you can automatically feel it rumble whenever you get a point or something. But the spin-off games didn't stop there. Pokemon Stadium for the Nintendo 64 came out afterwards, and boy was I excited for it. To finally see all the creatures that I've known and loved for a long time to be shown in 3D. Now I'd get to see just how fat Blastoise actually is, and just how ugly looking some Pokemon are. It even came with this cool transfer pack that allowed you to put in your Game Boy game Pokemon and transfer them to Pokemon Stadium where you could battle with them. This game was awesome. I remember spending countless hours battling friends and the computers alike. After that though, we got this. Hey You Pikachu, another Pokemon spin-off game, but this one completely sucked. It was a Pokemon game where you could actually talk to Pikachu using a microphone that came with the game. You could use different voice commands to make Pikachu do different things. But this game had a major problem with it that caused it to be almost unplayable. Almost any command that you actually say in the microphone to Pikachu doesn't even work. You could try your best to say, Pikachu, come here. And nope, Pikachu won't come here. He'll probably run away from you. You could say, Pikachu, let's play. He'd just give you this pissed off look. Like, nah, why don't you just go play with yourself, bro? I remember as a kid, I'd always just try and say random things to him, like, Pikachu, fart! And I would expect him to fart, because I really thought Pikachu would do anything that I'd say. But nope, Pikachu would never fart for me. So I'd sit there and just call him names instead. You bubble butt munch! Stanky poo face! You goober wiping fathead! But as usual, Pikachu really didn't seem to give a crap. And of course, as the craze of Pokemon went on, there were Pokemon action figures as well. We loved playing with these as kids. We used to make them all fight each other and go on all kinds of different adventures. We'd even mix different characters from different cartoons together. Like we'd have Jessie from Pokemon play as Chi-Chi from Dragon Ball Z, and she'd use her massive hair as a weapon to destroy everything in her way. Yeah, we were pretty rough on our toys as kids, as you can tell. Some of them even have missing arms and missing heads from how rough we were with them. But then we had some that were just weird looking. I'm guessing these were bootleg Pokemon toys, because this Charmander looks like he's on crack rock or something. And this Pikachu's really overweight, and it has a huge hole in its butt, which was used for pencils. Doesn't even fit! But this one does fit. Because that Pikachu got a big butthole. Even at school we had Pokemon going on in the library, with all kinds of different bookmarks. It made me want to actually go to the library and read, or just grab a few bookmarks and leave. I collected a lot of these as a kid. I even have multiple copies of some of them, even though I never read. And of course, along with collecting Pokemon toys, we also collected Pokemon plushies, along with everything else that we could possibly find that had the name Pokemon on it. From Pokemon books, to Pokemon magazines, and of course the Pokemon comic books. I remember always finding a lot of these Pokemon books at our book fair at school, and I always bought them because I thought they looked cool. After that, the next generation of Pokemon started to come in, Pokemon Gold and Silver. I ended up picking Gold version simply because I always thought that Gold was worth more than Silver. So my little brother actually ended up getting Silver version. We never ended up getting a copy of Pokemon Crystal version. However, I found one at a yard sale like a year ago, and it doesn't have the label or anything, but it's still cool to have. We both played through these games, enjoying finding all the new Pokemon. It was really amazing seeing our Pokemon games in full color for the first time. So with the new generation of Pokemon out now, there's a whole new generation of spin-off games as well, including Pokemon Stadium 2 for the Nintendo 64. This game did the exact same thing that Pokemon Stadium 1 did, allowing us to transfer our Pokemon from Gold and Silver to Pokemon Stadium 2 to see them in full 3D. A few years later, the next generation of Pokemon released, with Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, but this time I decided to go with the red looking one, with the cool Pokemon on the front of it, instead of the blue version, Sapphire, so my little brother took it instead. At this point in time, we still played through these games and enjoyed them. However, we were slowly starting to get out of Pokemon around this time, so whenever Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green came out, we didn't even buy either one of them. Instead, I just went to Blockbuster and rented Pokemon Fire Red and beat it that way. Not to mention that we never even owned Emerald version either. These are still the original copies of Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire that we had as kids. The rest of these I found at various yard sales throughout the years. So with us getting out of Pokemon, by the time Generation 4 came out, we didn't even really care. However, I still went to Walmart and bought my own Pokemon Pearl version, just because I was still a Pokemon fan at heart and wanted to experience the rest of the Pokemon story, and eventually ended up getting all three of them. After that, of course, Pokemon started becoming cool again with Pokemon Black and White coming out, and around this time I was really enjoying doing Let's Plays on my old YouTube channel, so I did a Let's Play of Pokemon Black and White the day it came out. After that, I bought the latest Pokemon game, Pokemon Y, and I chose that version simply because I thought that the legendary Pokemon in Pokemon Y looked way cooler than the legendary Pokemon in Pokemon X. I mean, just look at this badass red bird, and what do you got, Bambi's mom? So with that, ladies and gentlemen, that about wraps it up. I had a lot more Pokemon stuff as a kid, but most of it got sold in yard sales, unfortunately. So this is pretty much all I have left in my collection, which is still a lot of things, including this awesome Charmander shirt that I'm currently wearing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all once again for 80,000 subscribers, and I'll see you all in the next video.